And everybody, welcome. Okay, just gonna get a couple of windows open here, just because to get some fresh air, number one, and number two, to get some fresh air and get rid of the smell of the markers. Oh my gosh. It's fine. It should be enough. Morning. Good afternoon. Okay. I'm just gonna play a little song while all of you are getting adjusted here. So what I want all of you to do, first and foremost, is I just want to ask all of you. Now, first of all, I want you to stand over by the wall. Okay, just stand, just somewhere, just kind of creating a little circle. Okay, making a little circle for everybody. Okay. So some of you are going to be on this side of the room. Some of you are going to be sitting on the couch over on this side. And then others are going to be by the keyboard and right by the door. So along the four walls in this room. Now I want to talk about seating first of all. And today is the day where we're going to try to get into a little bit. But I just want to, today's kind of casual day, just kind of an informal day to really get to know each other. Okay, so I'm going to play some introductory games. We're going to be listening to some music, and today is going to kind of get us into the flavor of Gemini. Okay, but I understand how you feel because I am feeling super duper excited to start out this Gemini Club because, when I was in school, the subjects that I was enthusiastic about a lot of the time, they started getting into things a little bit later than I would like, so I'm just kind of waiting, like, when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? So I can understand that. But I don't want to really, get into it, all too quickly today. Because I'm going to have a light and easy day, so I'll try to balance those out, especially for those who are really enthusiastic about this Gemini Clubus. Now, before we sit down, and I think that I'm going to arrange you when you're seating alphabetically. Okay? So, I might do that, okay? Or I might do the individuals who have a Gemini sun sitting in a specific place, have a Gemini moon in another place, rising, and so on and so on and so on. Most importantly, I talked about just like at the what I call the pre-op day where you all were here and I just went over just a couple of just little orientational things. Well, today is the day where it officially starts. So I hope that you all have your Gemini books with you. You should all have the Gemini books. Okay? And as a reminder, just to show you what they look like, they look like this. All of you should have a copy of this book in your hands, okay, or in a binder or a bag that you have got with you, okay. But you should have that in hand. Like one of the most important things is to always have that book when you enter this room, when you come into this room, because we're going to be doing a lot of discussions. We're going to be reading from it, talking about it, doing activities from it, and of the content and all of those things. So you need to have those books, and you need to do the readings. Okay? So that's just what I want to clarify. Okay? If you don't have any Gemini in your chart, then this I think this will be pretty informative and pretty fun and beneficial for you. If you lack the lessons and you lack just that, if you lack Gemini, if you lack the understanding and the and feeling the energy of Gemini. And I can tell you that when it comes time for Leo season, then I'm going to be put in that same situation. Because if I could go in and I could, just design my own chart, I'd have every sign except for Scorpio. And some of you in here might be Scorpios, but it's most important that you have Gemini at a very, very important placement, the top of your chart. So the Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury. And if it's toward the bottom of your chart, then that affects your personality less than the top. So you may want to go to another crevice for that. But I have 2 planets in my chart, Mars and Venus, both in this zodiac sign, this mutable air sign. So today how it's going to look is I'm going to go over just the basic information of Gemini. Okay, we're going to kind of get into it with some fun activities that Deborah Silverman, Impressions of Gemini from her channel, some music, and maybe a couple other things as well. I don't really know. I'll kind of come up with it as I go. I am a spontaneous person, because when I set myself a plan, a lot of the times I just go off of it. But so anyway, everybody, this is the seating arrangements. So, I believe that I know most all of you in here. But what I want you to do right now is I have some sticky notes over on that table. And I want you to write, just to get to know all of you, because there's so many students at this academy in Minton. Most of them I know, but there's a lot of new ones that come in, and you might be one of those new ones that I really don't have an idea who you are. So I might not know your faces, I might not know your personality and what you like and dislike and all that stuff. So write your first and last name, just that, and you don't need anything else. Write your first and last name on the sticky note, okay, and then put it on your shirt. Okay, and I'll just introduce myself right off the bat. I am Trevia Truck. And going along with the book as well, I just want you to take time today before we even get into it. Now, here's a couple tasks that I want you to do, actually. So, first of all, write your name on a sticky note. Put it on your shirt. The next thing that I want you to do, that is after I get everything seated, is to go into your copy, okay, turn to the very, very first page, okay, the very, very first page of it, and write down your birth information, because the birth information is what is crucial for, looking at your chart, being able to see your chart and understand the different, placements of the planets, and, the signs, and, understanding and loving yourself and others comes all this birth information. So your birth date, the day, the month, and then the year, the time, if you know it. If you don't, then that's fine, but a lot of the times, time can make a big difference, and I'll let you in on a little personal secret. If you put in my birth information, April 6th, 2004, then if you put that in and you put the place in, I don't really think that the place matters because it's pretty, same all around, I think. But if you don't put the time in, it's going to say moon in Scorpio. I don't have moon in Scorpio. I was born under the full moon in Aries season. And as we know, you should all know just kind of astrology basics, that Libra is the opposition and the complement to Aries. So the time, the location, the place that you were born. Okay, so that's what the very, very first thing that you're going to be doing. The very, very first direction. So I'm going to assign you. So raise your hand if you have Gemini Sun. I don't have Gemini Sun. Raise your hand. Okay. So the Gemini Suns are going to be sitting closest up to the board. Well, I might actually have them sit in the middle, just so that they get just a good view, because if you're sitting way down here, then you have to look up. And of course, if you're sitting way back in the room, you have to kind of squint to see it. So right in the middle. Right in the middle is where the Gemini Suns are going to be. So if I had to draw it with a ruler, this might not even look good or make sense. It would be, I'm making a little line here, just kind of going, I don't know, let's see, north to south, this way. Then we're going east to west, north to south, and then east to west again, but maybe make it as big as all of you can take up. So this area of space right here is yours. Okay, so find those seats. Now, Gemini moons. Remember, the sun, moon, and the rising are, the most common and the grand three, on those videos with Malika Semper, she always asks the applied astrology students, tell us your sun, moon, and rising. And Deborah Silverman Astrology, we're going to really, and that's going to be a really, really huge and really, very versatile and very informative resource that we're going to use. And maybe you can look on Malika Semper and look at some of her videos. Some of her videos might be good as well. Maybe also Jeff Henshaw, who is the author of Aries book in the Aries Club. He has podcasts on his channel. Get past from grinding your A word to all the New Age stuff. I don't know why that's in there, but anyway, he might have some videos on, Gemini and understanding the zodiac sign and the flavor of it, and, the understanding how to feel the energy. All of those things we're going to take a look at in here. And also the polarity between Gemini and Sagittarius, the opposition and the complementation. And I'll get into what we're going to be looking for, we're going to be learning about here coming up. But I just gave you a little bit of it off. So Gemini moons are going to sit right over near this this dresser, I want to call it. So right to, if I'm a Gemini Sun and I'm facing this way, it would be off to my left. And that's where all the Gemini moons are going to sit. So raise your hand if you're a Gemini moon. Okay, you should already have put your birth info in one of those natal chart calculators. Maybe even astro.com. That finds the ascendant. If you go under horse, if you go, put the time in, that's the ascendant, the rising sign in the eastern horizon that you were born, the exterior of what we see. So your soul, when you were born, before you were born. So that's what you already needed to do to be able to determine this. And I already did it. I looked at my chart and I pretty much know every placement in my whole entire chart. And I'm not going to go through that with you. But, so, you know who you are if you're a Gemini moon, which you raise your hands. So sit on the left of them. Now, Gemini ascendants, Gemini risings. I have the complement of that rising. I believe it's in Sagittarius. But so anyway, Gemini ascendants. They are going to be sitting. They're going to be sitting directly in front of. Well, no, that's not going to work out, is it? Directly sitting to the right of the Gemini sun. To the right of the Gemini sun people. So, you're good. And then sitting right of the Gemini sun people. So, closest to the keyboard. So, if I'm sitting this way, it would be over to my right that way. Okay, so just make a little circle and fill yourselves in. Kind of stay toward the keyboard, maybe scooch up so that everyone has room. Okay, and for those of you who are coming here, you're either Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Ascendant. That's, I think that's really the limits. Otherwise, people have no Gemini, any other placement. So now we're gonna get to top chart placements. The top chart placements are Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Gemini and Virgo rule Mercury. They're both mutable Earth. So you learn something. So if you didn't already know it. But so Mercury, Venus, and Mars people, they will be sitting behind, so closest to the door in the middle, so directly behind the Gemini sun people. And if I had to measure it out with a straight edge, it would be kind of however much room that you'd have. And kind of squish in. This is kind of a small but medium room so that we have, space for everyone. Okay, and it may be a little bit tight. Yeah, it may be a little tight, but, we're making it work. So then we're going to get middle placements. And the middle planets are Jupiter and Saturn. If you have Gemini in either Jupiter or Saturn, which you should already know, those people will be sitting right in front, right behind the Gemini ascendants. So that would be closest to that table over there with the plants and the Kleenex and the computer on it. So that table over there, sit right around that area. So, I'm measuring it out with a ruler. So right next to the Gemini, okay, I think that you get what I mean. So, about near the table, you see that little space there between the table and the keyboard, and the kind of how that table extends out to the right leg. If you look to your right, you can see that leg. So for those who, I don't have to go through it. For those who are standing over the wall, it's the leg to your left, sticking out right in front of you. So I think that you get it. I measured out with the ruler. So sit over there. Okay, now, lowest placements, which would be, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. I want you now to sit, sitting, where are we gonna fit you in? Sitting over by the music stand. Okay, so it should be this amount of space right here. That amount of space. Like right around the music stand and just a little bit of the keyboard. That's where you should be. Okay, I think that you get what I'm talking about. I don't want to have to explain. So, does everyone know where they're gonna sit? And you can sit anywhere. Anywhere, but it has to be in those collective seats. I just want to arrange everything. Okay, wonderful. That's all sorted out. Now, what I want you to do is, I realize that you didn't write your names on your sticky notes and do that. So what I want you all to do is I want you to get up from these spots. I know I just assigned you these spots, but I want you to get up, grab a sticky note. You just sat down, but do it anyway. Those yellow greenish sticky notes, and write down your first and last name. That's what I want you to first do. Then attach it to your shirt. I'll give you some time to do that. Okay, and then the next thing that you need to do is open up your book. Okay, if you didn't do it already. As the owner of these books, and by the way, did I say you can keep these forever? You don't need to give these back. We'll use this as the textbook, but we can, but you can keep these and you can keep referring back to them. So, that is something I disagree with, because if you're interested in the book, if you like the book, if you want to keep the book, then I'm not a person who said who believes in having to give it back. I don't believe in that. We can always get more copies. It's no big deal. So this is yours to keep. So you're the owner of the book. Preferably treat it like your own, and then open it up to the front and put your information in. Okay, and we're doing this because I just want to kind of make things more select and organized this season, and because I don't know a lot of you, who are Geminis. So put the birth information in here, and maybe also you can put in the placement or placements where your Gemini is at in your chart. Somewhere like in this like in the little circle as well. And I forgot to say people with no Gemini. People with no Gemini, I don't know what to do about you. Okay. Yeah, we do not have space. We really do not have space for you. Because we have a couch over there and we only have so much room. So, go sit. Just go, just in the little gaps between everybody. Just just seat yourselves anywhere where you find a gap, anywhere where you find a little bit of space, because there's not enough select area for you all to fit in. Okay, so that's what I need you to do. It's a small but big room, so let's face it. So do that. Okay, I forgot about you. Okay, now that you've done that, put your birth information in. That's the very, very first tab. Okay, so now it's time to put your books, excuse me, away, okay? Put them away for now. You don't need them. So now what we're gonna do is, and also, you know what, people with no Gemini or whoever doesn't find space, you can feel free to sit on a chair or the keyboard chair, or sit on the couch and to make plenty of room. Okay, because it's there, and so there's no reason why you should have to ask permission to sit there. It's ridiculous if I made you do that. So feel free to sit there. That's why the couch is there. So there's a point to it. There's a purpose to it. I'm not somebody who defeats purposes. Okay, so now that we've done that, is it hot in here or what? Okay, that fan is not hooked up. Okay, okay, it's a little warm in here. It's a little hot. So, okay, I know that it is hot in here. I'm baking, but don't know. Let's see. Okay, we got the fan in here, so that should do the trick. Okay, now I don't know what to do about the hassock. Okay. So, set that down here. Right there. Oh. These out in the way. Okay. Good. Now, who wants to put their feet up on the cassock? Anyone? Okay, are you all good? Okay, wonderful. And maybe we'll vote and people can choose to sit on the couch or sit in one of the chairs if they want to. I might even have to put some chairs in here because I know that it's hard sitting on the floor, crisscross applesauce, but that's how it all works for those of you who are new. So anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to Gemini Club. That took a little while to get everything sorted out. So the very, very first thing is I want to bring up the board. Now, this is going to be all Gemini dedicated. All Gemini dedicated. So as I said, we're going to do some introductory things today. We're going to do some introductory things, kind of get oriented with, getting into the energy and the flavor and the understanding of Gemini. So in this clubus, the things that we're going to look at is, and I'm not going to write this down because I already have things. The things that we're going to look at is looking at understanding the zodiac sign, understanding the element, the modality, which is mutable, which is either cardinal, fixed, or mutable, and understanding the ruling planet, because all of those things have influence on the sign, save for the sign itself. And additionally, understanding the other element going along with the element of that sign. So if I had to give it away, Gemini is the fire to the air. It's Aries but air sign. We're gonna take a look at that. And so much more, basically. Astrological information, and we're also going to be connecting it to real life as well. Connecting the astrology to real life, to real situations, to real individuals. Because, there's a saying, as above, so below. So whatever things happen in the heavens, whatever placements the planets are at, if there's a square or a trine or whatever, and I don't even know, what all of those things mean. I don't know, like, the complex of astrology, and, you don't need to really know that. All you need to know is just the basics of just looking at your chart and understanding that the planetary placements, but all of that stuff impacts us below. So the moon right now is in Cancer. The horoscope, Sun in Gemini, moon in Cancer. Which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that horoscope real briefly. Sun in Gemini, social, talkative, lighthearted, with that moon in Cancer being very, very emotional and mother-like and allowing Gemini to talk about his feelings. So, a couple sources, and I've set up pages on my page. What I've done is I've made an intro page, and on the sources side, I put Deborah Silverman Astrology. So go to her channel, and she has some really, really great videos. Some, really informative, really useful, and also fun and funny videos that we're going to be watching today, which I'm just kind of playing just the audio of what they sound like on the boombox, so that you can at least hear them today. And also Jeff Henshaw podcasts, and two men talking about Gemini, secret superpowers, understanding your true self, the true Gemini, Michelle Knight, Gemini. So a lot of videos and maybe a lot of extra reading and extra content. I'm going to try to make this as chill and informal as I can, but still maintaining that formality if you didn't see it right now. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun activities, because Gemini is all about the fun factor. It's all about the light positivity. So just reading and discussing and speaking about it, what I'm doing is channeling the energy of Gemini, all about the communication, all about finding words and those kind of stuff. So it could be pretty simple. It was not a huge project like we did for the Taurus season with the show and tell that everyone did, which I got to see a lot of your projects at the Edmonton headquarters, and I must say you really understood Taurus and that energy of like the simple pleasures, and I was really impressed with your ability and your stories and your uniqueness on how you make your presentations, and your speeches were all very inspiring and very heartfelt and strong, and your objects are, I want to buy a lot of those. But so anyway, that's Taurus season. There will be one kind of just very small to medium big project that you'll be doing. Just one. But, we're going to be doing a lot of kind of games, music, readings, speaking activities, all things channeling the Gemini assets in here. Besides, reading and discussing, that's the, clubbist part. Club and a class. Club, is meant to be fun, is meant to be informal, that you all chose to come here. But that class part is the, like the content and the information and, the work that you are putting into. So I wanted to combine them. So that's what I did. So club and class, clubbist. So we'll be doing the reading and the discussing. Not only that,